Bill, it's interesting when I think about the behind-the-scenes narrative that's going on in this year's NCAA tournament. A lot of it is around Syracuse, also around North Carolina with their academic impropriety investigation. It is still ongoing, by the way, with the NCAA. But Jim Boeheim and Syracuse last year self-imposed the ban, right? So they didn't go last year. They kind of they pre-did it, and then the whole thing that happened at the beginning of the season, your 9 game is gonna happen at the start of the ACC season, but they appealed it, and it happened before the ACC season. So things just kind of like worked their way perfectly, especially when you think about it as a narrative for Syracuse to get right where they are, get a little bit lucky because of some of the upsets early, face a not too difficult pass, beat Virginia in an unbelievable fashion, and now have this I don't know, out of nowhere chance to win a national championship.
Well, I guess the shadow or cloud over it, does exist, and but for the beauty of the game for us, we're really just involved in the game. So I'm sure Jim will mention some things and address them, but I think anybody tuning in wants to see these kids play and doesn't really look down or in any way condescending about what transpired off the floor. That's up to the NCAA to legislate. I'm glad they changed the same as Larry Brown,
Yep.
And that Jimmy wasn't going to miss 9 ACC games, as you alluded to. But it seems that there's always something out there, and it makes for great conversation on radio and in the print media as to what's been done and what's the best way to police it. And the misfortune that these programs have had are going to be dealt with, or have been dealt with Syracuse, and Carolina is one of those areas because of the academic issues that really hits home to the core of what college athletics is all about.
We're talking to the great Bill Raftery, who's on the call, of course, NCAA tournament and CBS in conjunction with Turner Sports. He's with Jim Nance and Grant Hill and Tracy Wolfson. Bill, I think that, and you'd probably agree with this, I think that Villanova can beat Oklahoma even if they have a B-minus game. I think Oklahoma could beat Villanova if they have a B-minus game. But I think most of us would probably expect Syracuse would need, if not an A-plus game, at least an A or an A-minus to knock off UNC. I mean, is that a fair assessment, do you think?
Yeah, I agree with you totally. I think the one area that exhibited itself in the Syracuse 2 games with Carolina was fatigue. And the difference is the length of the timeouts, which pays our bills, by the way, so I can't condemn it.
Yeah, that's right.
Where they're going to get plenty of rest. The one area for in both games, this building, the teams have shot poorly. I don't know if you played here. Was it built when you were playing? I don't think it was.
No.
And it's huge. It's like I don't know, the lights are another factor.
Yep.
So given that, if Oklahoma can't make those threes like they usually do, that brings them down a peg. And Villanova's gotten better at passing up the threes. They were 4 for 32, which you guys probably have said before, when they played one another out in Honolulu. And I had that game, and Villanova really settled for contested threes. And they've gotten better at shooting step-in threes and getting in the lane and kicking to open looks. So I think your evaluation's right on the money in both games.